I've been working at IESE Business School for over 5 years. My responsibility was recently updated. I'm now Deputy Director of IESE MBA with a focus on Asia and the Middle East. So I design its macro region strategy and also manage some regional associate directors and area coordinators in Asia and the Middle East. In the meantime, for my day-to-day work, I take care of Japan, South Korea, and the Middle East, including the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Kuwait, and etc. So the main contact for those who apply from these countries will be myself. And aside from that, I'm a member of Career Development Center, taking care of those who are eager to work in Japan and South Korea and after graduation. And also, I'm a graduate from IESE MBA class of 2016. And last but not least, I'm an avid traveler, traveling over 80 countries at least before COVID-19. So the current situation is quite challenging to me, and I hope it will be over very soon. My initial plan was obviously not to become an admissions officer at all. However, my primary objective to pursue an MBA was to change my career in function, from finance to something what I'm good at and what I prefer. At that moment, my hypothesis was firstly to change to a consultant, or the second option I was thinking about was to change to anything related to human resources or education. After doing an internship during my summer break between the first year and the second year, I was almost convinced HR or education could be a much better option for me. And by the time I made a final decision, I had several options on the table, and without any hesitation, I decided to work at the IESE after graduation for several reasons. Firstly, because I was quite impressed with all of the experiences I enjoyed at the IESE, which were quite transformational. And secondly, for my personal reason related to my family, I needed to go back to Japan after graduation. However, I wanted to have as much international exposure as possible. So at least before COVID-19, I think I spent over 30 to 35% of time every year outside of Japan with so many business trips, which was a great compromise plan for me. And also, I paid attention to the quality of my colleagues in the admissions team. So everyone in this admissions committee is a graduate from IESE Business School. So I could easily respect them, and some of them are also my classmates. So I wanted to be surrounded by this kind of respectful and talented people even after graduation. So the combination of those reasons led me to become an admission officer after graduation. Interestingly, we internally often say that our admissions process is not so efficient, but quite effective, because we tend to spend a lot of time getting to know an applicant, who you are, through interaction beyond documents. In other words, we put a bit more emphasis on interviews. And this is also beneficial for an applicant to know what kind of school we are, or to check a fit between you and IESE. I think the other uniqueness can be found in the extra step called assessment day, potentially taking place after this interview. And this is all about team discussion, team presentation, class participation, etc. Not everyone is invited to this process. Invitation to this process doesn't mean you have any advantage or disadvantage at all. Instead, its implication is just we need a bit more information as an admissions committee to make a better solution or decision. So we have this step because we emphasize team discussion and class participation and our core teaching method, which is called the case method. The assessment day could be also a great opportunity for applicants to check your fit with the IESE. For instance, if you feel less comfortable with the class based on the case method, I don't think you should come to IESE, no matter how you like Barcelona as a city, because approximately 80% of the classes during this MBA could be taught under this case method. This admissions committee should be composed of several types of people. The first ones could be core members, all are graduates from IESE Business School, and there should be some support staff, and moreover, there should be at least one member from Career Development Center, because it's also important to measure a career risk of an applicant, and which is about whether you could be successful in developing your career after graduation. So we should be responsible for your future career even after graduation as well. From the student or an applicant's perspective, the responsibility of Career Development Center is to help students find best jobs after graduation. But the reality is this is a kind of mutual support. And it partly depends on what kind of professional background this applicant has, and also what kind of ambition for the future this applicant has. So some of the factors could be less controllable, or it's extremely difficult to change for anyone. In that sense, it is also our responsibility before an application to manage the expectation of an applicant, because not everything can be achievable with this MBA. For example, this is not the best program for anyone to become an astronaut after graduation. And the reality is, after graduation, many people are going to consulting, finance, technology, etc. Partly because these are the sectors with so much excitement to recruit talents from IESE Business School, while there are so many different sectors which are less interested in IESE. So this is also the step to understand each other, what kind of expectation each one should have, and also we should learn what kind of excitement or motivation each applicant has. We'd like to work with someone who could be responsible for managing your own career with the understanding, again, that this is a mutual support. Because what we offer is not like a job placement, but just a career support. For example, we open doors by talking with as many recruiters as possible, which is our business development. And also, we will try to train you for a selection process by focusing on your CV, cover letter, case interview preparation, etc. However, afterwards, it will be your own effort. Without having active interaction from the student side, it's going to be quite difficult for Career Development Center to give you full support. So also, in this context, we would like to have someone mature, independent, and proactive. So according to the latest statistics of MBA class of 2020, industry-wise, 33% going to consulting, 22% going to finance, and 17% going to technology. The other 28% could be fragmented into some other sectors, including healthcare, energy, retail, consumer goods, etc. And location-wise, around 46% of students stayed in Europe after graduation, while 22% in Latin, 20% in Asia, 7% in the Middle East and Africa, and 5% in the US. And also, triple jumpers accounted for 33% in MBA class of 2020, which should be remarkable because this class was extremely affected by COVID-19 in a negative way. And triple jumps mean changing the industry, changing function, and changing location simultaneously. It's not easy at all. However, this class did an amazing job. I often describe our admissions process not as an entrance exam, but more as a job hunting activity, partly because we tend to put a bit more emphasis on interview, while in the job hunting, I think the test component could be also a bit important. So I would say the holistic application preparation should be essential. In other words, your scheduling, work, and balanced approach for every component of your application is important. For example, once the application form is live, you could go there to understand what is required, what kind of essay questions we are asking for, etc. This way, you could be well prepared in advance, and you could be efficient to do your after work as well. And also, because as I mentioned, this could be a kind of job hunting. It would be great if you could make an effort to know our school from different perspectives, not only from the admissions perspective, but also from other perspectives, including of students, alumni, professors, etc. For instance, attending a virtual open day could be one of the greatest ways to make it happen, because in the virtual open day, there are three components. The first one is just an MBA overview. The second one is real class based on the case method just for applicants. So this is an opportunity for applicants to check the genuine fit with IESE, whether you could feel comfortable with the case method based class. And the last part is an alumni discussion or panel. And aside from that, you could freely reach out to us so that we could introduce someone who could be appropriate for you to reach out. And so that through this kind of personal interaction, you could deepen your understanding about IESE as a whole.